So now we're going to talk about capillaries. So what was the function of capillaries when you think about it? Capillaries is the location of gas exchange. So if I were to draw a capillary here, right? So a capillary, the only layer that it contains is the innermost layer, which is called the tunica interna. So the tunica interna. If you remember, this layer is the vascular layer involving majority of the endothelial cells. So endothelial cells. An endothelial cells line with the luminal side of the blood vessels, and their main function is to promote any kind of angiogenesis, so promote blood flow. All right. So you have this tunica interna, and it's surrounded by another layer. This is called the basement membrane. Here. So if I were to draw this, again, excuse my drawings on the outer layer, this is called the basement membrane. So basement membrane. And when we look at the different types of capillaries, there's three specific types that I want you to worry about, is that they're distinguished based off of how porous each of them are, right? So we have three different types, okay? We have continuous, fenestrated, so continuous, fenestrated, and discontinuous. So you have fenestrated, which are, so as we go from continuous to discontinuous, the permeability of these capillaries increase. So discontinuous, so another name for discontinuous is sinusoidal, or sinusoid, right? So as if I draw an arrow to go down here, this is the top. As you go up, it is increase in the tight junctions that takes place in the blood vessels. But as we go down, it becomes more porous, right? And so when we look at these, there's each region of the body, right? So capillaries are not only selective to the pulmonary system, that's a very common misconception, right? They're throughout the entire body, any kind of systemic circuit, whether it's your skeletal system, your integumentary system, your nervous system, right? But you have different types of capillaries, right? And the different locations are really coined based off of the nature of the possibility of diffusion, right? So the continuous, the most common that you see in the continuous is the skin, muscle, central nervous system, right? So if I were to grab, where's my blue marker? So the skin, the central nervous system, the muscle. So these are good examples of capillaries that are present in these specific body regions here, right? So also the lungs, we have continuous, so the tightest capillaries are present in these regions, right? Then you have the fenestrated, which is the exocrine glands, the glomerulus, which is involved in the kidneys, so the glomerulus, and also the intestinal mucosa. So intestinal mucosa involved in the digestive system here, and we have the fenestrated type of capillaries, right? And the final, so when we look at the sinusoidal or discontinuous that we're looking at, so this is the liver, spleen, and the bone marrow. So the liver, spleen, and the bone marrow, right here, right? And so again, as we go from continuous to fenestrated to discontinuous, the permeability of these capillaries increase, right? And so each body system have their own specific type of capillaries, and they all have the characteristics of these three specific types that I mentioned.